We were talking about mocking the Willy Wonka experience in Glasgow.
In Glasgow, right? Why was that a story? Who would have ever heard of a Willy Wonka failed experience in Glasgow? Yeah?
Right, prior to social media.
Prior to social media. But around the social media, it's a big city, right? Glasgow. The producers are called House of Illuminati. Does that sound like a person who with a mind to scam people? Using words like that are very popular on social media, right? That's a thing. It taps into so many ideas, like the idea of reality, the idea of using, because the whole thing is like you have to use your fantasy to give. So
well, it was such an extreme. The event people didn't. It's as though they didn't even try to make it work.
Yeah, it was a ripoff.
It was.
Right?
Yeah,
that was
it
a
was.
ripoff.
Hiding in the walls.
I'm not trying even to laugh. I was laughing before because it is funny. People are finding it hilarious, saying that it might create a trend of how bad can you present your own event because it's funny. You know, the result is fun. That's the truth. And I was laughing. I was in stitches before, but don't need to be, all the time making just fun of it. It's the idea of thinking we're mixing the ideas of like the park, right? That we love, like Disney. We love the idea, the fantasy. Now that's you know that you fully subscribe to the illusion. That's a thing, right? You willingly accept that fantasy. You pay good money. But when that fantasy doesn't seem to pay off too much, your stretch of imagination kind of it deflates immediately, right? Because even if it was not that bad, if there was a little effort with the actors, more actors, more people dressed up, it would sell the illusion to the kids. And at the end of the day, the parents don't want to scare the kids. So they would subscribe to the illusion. But it was too much. It was too dark. And it gave now, what did you say? Now they made famous. Probably will not get business. They're not gonna get business because
I said
they're made
they
famous.
probably. I said now that their company was probably smeared, they won't get business no more. But
I was. What did I say? Do you remember?
Yeah, that they will get business.
They'll probably, because apparently, who puts up this together? You have to have a genius or the means and know how things work to just do that. It's almost like an art, and scamming people. It's an art. And people know how to do that, and they use for several purposes, mostly for monetary. And it's everywhere. Like there's a lot. And then the whole thing I was talking about, a lot of entertainment is pure illusion. Look at how the sports events are. To me, makes no sense, right? I'm not sitting but it's so big. There's a lot of money and a thing that people love. Right? And people subscribe to what they're selling, and they sell it well and create a whole spectacle around a sports event, right? And it's sold the Olympics, the idea of superation. It's well sold, right? There's a whole world subscribing to that event. It's an event. Everyone needs to subscribe. It's made well, presented well, beautiful. There's art. You need art. That's what art is in the middle. But if the art part is not presented
No, they just had some balloon rainbow, just some random objects sitting around the big, huge warehouse.
How couldn't they get chocolate? But it was an interesting experience, especially because remember the last thing I was thinking about was vacation. And vacation is that you go to a place to engage in a different life experience. With a total recall, you're gonna go on a vacation. Say, the same person. People are not the same on vacation. Vacation, they drink. That's the whole thing. You subscribe to a more fantastic way of living, not the hardship of life. That is the natural, right? And there's a lot of things designed for that, like the beaches, like the tours. The whole world seems to be designed on this, but it's mostly well presented, right? Especially when the natural setting, like abroad, overseas, sometimes more exotic, it feels very real. But as long as it's presented gracefully, right? People love this. And that was it. That was our Willy Wonka immersive experience. That we got the news right in the middle of our vacation, right? And we loved our fantasy in it because, thank goodness, no one offers a service that is not good. Only thing that the whole people working, they're giving their best to provide us, right? At least the base for the imagination.